And Pyotr Kochetkov showed the heck up. 0-0 through regulation. You just heard one of them, quite a few saves that would have been more than reasonable to not make.
Well, that one was in overtime, too, the one I just played.
Even better. But there were multiple times where I was like, you know what, if he gave up a goal there, I don't think I'd be mad at Kochetkov, right? There were a whole bunch of them. And it brought up an interesting question because for weeks we've been talking about the need for the Canes to make a move in goal. For weeks we've been talking about you have to explore all options. Whether it's Allen, Fleury, you can go through all of the potentials, right? And it's been discussed, and we've been calling for it. And then Kochetkov has a game like that, and you let your mind wander to maybe they don't have to. Nobody is doubting the top-line skill ceiling of Pyotr Kochetkov. He's done that for stretches since he was really brought into the team seriously last year. I'm still worried about consistency, and I'm still worried about depth, and one game can't prove consistency. One game can't prove that you're ready to do it game in and game out and day out and week in and week out and series in and series out. As awesome as it was. Here's Rod Brind'amour on Pyotr Kochetkov.
He's a young kid. He's still learning. I mean, we're just in the beginning stages, I think, what we're going to see out of him.
Yeah,
he is a young kid, and you're just in the beginning stages. I agree. This is not, when I say they need to trade for a goalie, it is not any kind of indictment on Pyotr Kochetkov. He's young. He's raw, he's green, whatever he's not quite ripe yet. Whatever you want to call it, that's what he is. And that just means, still got a little learning to do. Still got a little seasoning to get.
Just experience.
And I'm fine with, he's definitely a part of the plans. I'm not saying you take Kochetkov and you send him out to pasture, right? He's part of the plans. It's just at what is he, 24 years old with 53 appearances or 53 starts, whatever it is.
53 games in the NHL.
53 games in the NHL. I'm not ready to put a Stanley Cup contender's hopes and dreams an entire postseason on his shoulders. If he could get into it, if Saturday gets him into a rhythm, that's awesome. Because when he's in a rhythm, he's as good as just about anybody else's. There are a few, obviously, but we don't have to list them, that are just top line. But he's as good as the next group when he's in a rhythm. But he has consistently shown that he's one blip away from being out of rhythm, right? He was unbelievable on Saturday. The previous game he played in, he was benched after the first period. It's that quick. It only takes a little out-of-rhythm play to lose a playoff series from your goalie. Right, you go a game and a half out of rhythm in a playoff series, and suddenly you're in Cancun watching somebody else hoist a trophy. And now with Raanta out for a while, right, he has the lower body injury. The concern for him is still what the concern for him has been. He's getting the reputation as being made of glass. So now you have Kochetkov. I mean, right now, you are one Kochetkov injury away from your two goalies being Spencer Martin, who you picked up off the bargain bin on waivers, and Yaniv Peretz, who you have down in the ECHL, not even the AHL. That's the concern right there. So let's look at it. You have Kochetkov now. If he's playing well, fantastic. If he's playing like he played on Saturday, you do a happy jig, a little happy dance. But if he has that blip, if he has that lack of focus, and you just want to take him out to reset things, you can't. You don't have the bodies unless you're really looking at trusting Spencer Martin for way more than you signed up for when you brought him on the team originally. If he gets hurt, he's already missed for concussion protocol, right? One collision at the net, you're down to Spencer Martin. So, as well as Kochetkov played on Saturday, as fun as it was, and it really was really fun.
It was outstanding, his play. And on Whalers night.
On Whalers night, the jerseys look great, by the way.
Oh, phenomenal.
The headbands in pregame looked awesome. The social media content, the Jumbotron content, it was all really, really fun. Right? I'm not taking any of that away, but one game, like the way I think the best way to describe it is one game simply can't prove consistency. It can't, because the definition of consistency is, over a period of time. One game, I mean, it's as good as it could be, but it's just one game. So then with the trade deadline less than a month away, here's Rod Brind'amour asked about potential trade deadline moves.
Better question for up top, but I mean, we love our team. We make our moves in the off season. We always talk about that, and that's it. But I don't have the answer for you there. We're always trying to get better, but we don't want to wreck what you have.
First of all, that is exactly the answer a coach should have, because a coach is going to have to walk into that locker room and look some people in the eye. He can't be like, well, there's 2 or 3 moves we're looking to make, then walk into the locker room. Everyone's going to be like, who are the 2 or 3 moves we're looking to make, coach?
It's like, you do realize if you are adding, I mean, someone in here has to go.
Who's expendable, coach? Like that, he has to be able to save face in the locker room. Don Waddell, that last part Rod Brind'amour said, which is you don't want to, risk upending what you have. You have to weigh the risk of upending what you have, right? If you make a move that you think adds a significant percentage of chance that you advance in the postseason, even if it adds a little bit of risk towards, upsetting the apple cart, you have to weigh that, right? It's not avoiding everything. Like, hey, I like our guys. We can't make any moves because it might rattle things. Is the reward worth the risk of rattling things? And I know Kochetkov especially, he's got friendships, right? Him and Svech are good buddies. They do a lot of the social media content together. It's obvious Pyotr Kochetkov is somebody they like. I think Raanta has. I mean, everything I've heard about Antti Raanta is he's the coolest guy and everybody loves him. Jalen Chatfield has a little handshake with him. Like, all of that plays, but they're also competitors. And if you can make a move that'll make them more likely to win in the postseason, that'll make them more likely to hoist the cup, there'll be a lot of, man, it stinks for him, but I think I'm for it. Because that's how every competitor I know would be. Like, it's my guy, but,
I'm here to take care of business.
Yeah, I'll let him wear my ring. Like he'll get one too. You know what I mean? Like all of that plays.